I think one of the biggest reasons that I started making films and I keep making films is because I think cinema is one of the most powerful ways of changing the world. My name is Karim Aïnouz. I'm one of the ambassadors of the European Arthouse Cinema Day. This year, I'm very excited to be celebrating the 10th anniversary. I've been making films for a couple of decades, so it's funny throughout this time, I have made quite different films, and I think there's some people that are very surprised by it because I think the films are so different. But for me, despite the fact that formally they're very different, I think where they all come from is from this wish to shed lights in lives that are somehow in the shadows. So I think the big inspiration all the time is character. And I'm always very passionate about telling stories about characters that I think should be celebrated as stars, and they're not. They're sort of in the background or in the sort of backstage of life. So this is always where it starts, like it's from trying to make visible what is invisible and to celebrate what is not being celebrated enough. And so the films have been very diverse, and I also think I'm very interested in not thinking that, these old categories of cinema where you have documentary and fiction and essay and experimental. For me, it's always about portraying someone, and the shape it takes, it depends on who we're portraying. It's almost like making a portrait of someone, so it depends who they are. The portraits are very different. And I'm also really in love with the fact that through storytelling in cinema, we can somehow cross borders. And I think this is such an important thing to do nowadays where we're getting more and more separated. And I think cinema is really a way for us to coming together around stories and great, great images. I think it all started when I was very, very young. I was not a child anymore when I watched Saturday Night Fever. It really kind of made me want to dance in the cinema. It really kind of had an energy that I thought it was really incredible how kind of a 2D image had such a strong impact on me. I think I also, and I think this is quite cliche to say, I also remember very well when I saw Jaws for the first time, and I couldn't go to the beach for about a year. So I think I was always very surprised. These are kind of two classic American movies, but I was very surprised of the impact that cinema can have in one's daily life and in one's approach to life. So I think I was a teenager and I watched an American movie called Fame. It was a movie that takes place in a performing arts school, I think in New York. And I think the film ends with all these students kind of going out in the streets and dancing. And there's this incredible Donna Summer song at the end. And I never forget sort of becoming sort of a young man and looking at this and being so moved and being so joyful. So I think, there's this sense of joy that I remember feeling very strongly when I watched that film. And I think this was in the 1980s or something, like quite a long time ago. I hope that on the 23rd of November of this year that we can all come together, spend some time in the same room, looking at wonderful and very diverse stories and celebrating these different countries that somehow are traveling through cinema. I think one of the most beautiful things about cinema as well is to be transported somewhere else without having to physically travel. So I hope that you have a wonderful trip on the celebration of this event, and that you discover things that you haven't seen before, which is one of the most beautiful things about filmmaking. Be surprised, be excited, and learn about the world.